My car battery died, so I walked to the nearest tire place and the most beautiful guy came to help me jump it. He told me to come get the new tires that I desperately need tomorrow. How should I make the first move? Reddit user, u/Carguythrowawayy. Original post, February 5, 2014. So, the title basically says it all. I've been single for a while now as I was taking a break from the dating scene. I'm 22. I was at lunch with a friend this afternoon. We left after 45 minutes, and he drove away before I got into my own car. I turned the key and, oops, left the lights on and my battery was dead. Fortunately, there was a tire store very near where I was, so I walked there. As I stepped inside and a guy came to see what I needed, I realized he was really cute. I told him my situation, and he offered to walk back with me to use the jump box that he had. I happily agreed. On the way there, he started joking with me about a few things and talking about where I went in for lunch. I also told him I needed new tires. When we got to my car, he looked at them and said that it most certainly was time to get new ones. I got the car a few months ago, a used 2010 Civic. The whole time I could see him grinning and looking at me with that certain look in his eyes. I'm an idiot, So I didn't check to see if a ring was on his finger, but with the way he was looking at me, I sure don't think he is, if he's a good guy. After asking me how far my next destination was so that it would be long enough for the battery to charge up, he told me that he would be working all day tomorrow and to come in and he would take care of my tires. I'll be there all day, with a grin on his face. Okay, r/ask men, this is where I need your help. How should I go about making the first move, assuming that he doesn't? Should I just hand him my number when I'm leaving the place tomorrow? How should I gauge his interest more? I've never really done the making the first move thing, but I really don't think I'm being crazy with this. Have you ever seen that certain look in someone's eyes? It's so hard for me to explain. I'm certainly confident enough to make the first move. I just have never come across anyone that piqued my interest randomly like he did. What if he's married or has a girlfriend and I am misreading the signs? What if he was just trying to get more business for his company? Any suggestions you have would be greatly appreciated. Edit. Why the hell did I capitalize tire store? LOL. Thanks for the advice. It has really helped. After the tires are done, I'm just going to thank him for being so nice and see if he wants to grab some coffee when he is done with his shift or some other day. I'll go over there after I stop by my school tomorrow, finally getting back into that, and will update you. Seriously, thanks for being here and for your suggestions. You rock. And /you/Vargas. Let's hope we don't end up in the back of my Civic. Kidding. It's a coupe. We'll have to use his. Ha ha ha. In all seriousness, I'm relationship-oriented and am ready to get back into the dating scene after an abusive relationship a few years ago. Life is good, and hell, if I get rejected at least I'll know I made myself vulnerable again, and hopefully will have made his day regardless. Relevant comments. Girl here. Thought I'd chime in. You want to be careful with this one, sister. I asked, how can I make this up to you? To some guy that helped me out once before. Ended up giving him a handy in the back seat of a 1993 Buick Century. Worst bris ever. Oop, LOL. Maybe I'll just stick with asking him to coffee. My biggest tip is to not call a mechanic beautiful in front of his friends or colleagues. Oop, LOL. It will most definitely stay in my head. For now. One-on-one is fine, but a mechanic? In front of his friends? His buddies will make sure to never let him forget you. OOP. Well, the last thing I would want to do is embarrass someone. I would never even think to say something like that to a guy I just met, let alone in front of his friends or coworkers. I'm more the type to wait at least until a one-on-one situation to verbalize that I find him attractive. Just in case. You never know someone's boundaries. He's a mechanic, not a white shirt. Hoo-hoo. Mechanics typically don't get any bonuses from sales like the white shirts do. Actually, taking the charger out and helping you made him about exactly nothing money-wise. This is good news. Sure doesn't sound like any rejections possible. He liked what he saw and jumped to be the guy who was the first to make some points. LOL. OOP score. Ha ha ha. I'm just going to go for it. Seriously, what have I got to lose? Absolutely nothing. In fact, I'll gain something regardless of the outcome. Guy who used to work on cars and has worked in a tire store kind of place check-in in. Okay. Hoping he doesn't have a ring or so, stopping by for some tire prices is making the next move. Was this guy what mechanics in the business call a white shirt, or was he a mechanic? White shirts are the people who work behind the front desk, not actual mechanics, hence the white shirt. If so, chances are you're just a sale. Money. A challenge to be had. And yes, the double entendre is intentional. Move cautiously. There are some decent guys who wear those white shirts, but there aren't many. Trust me. If he's interested, he'll suggest a coffee shop for lunch, or some similar banality. If not, well, you needed new tires anyhow, right? OOP, he was definitely one of the mechanics. He didn't see me right away, and I saw him working on a car before he hustled over. Once I explained the situation, he went to the back to grab the box and told the others he was leaving to help me. You know what? You're right. Smiley face. And if I get rejected, well, hey, it happens to everyone, and he might just have his day made anyway. God, you're an adorable girl. I feel like you're the type to be everyone's friend. Good luck. I'm almost always too shy to ask the guy out. OOP. Aw, thank you so much. Seriously. It feels really good to hear something like that. I'm used to my kindness being taken advantage of, though I used to let it happen. About your shyness. Hey, my suggestion would be to figure out if it is more than just shyness. It was fear for me. My therapist has been really pushing for me to date, and we have been working on those deep-rooted fears of rejection. But hey, maybe I'm biased. I'm going to school to become a social worker, clinical, and think that everyone can benefit from therapy. Haha. Last thing, I think we do what we have to when we're ready, and being on our own timelines is good enough. I'm definitely an advocate of getting ourselves out of our comfort zones, but there are certain things we just aren't ready for personally, you know? And that's okay. Update 1, February 6th, 2014, 1 day later. I've gotten a bunch of messages and comments for an update, so here it is. I went into the place, and he came to the front almost right away. He grinned and said, "Welcome back." I smiled right back and thanked him again for his help yesterday. He then told me he needed my info, and he checked the battery for me, and if I wanted to get an estimate, he could get me that as well. So he asked for my full name, and after I have it to him, I started freaking out a little inside. I have had a hyphenated last name since I was born. My parents never got married. I thought he might think I was married. I gave him my keys. Anyway, I was sitting in the lobby for a while. He was pretty busy and would occasionally come to the front to call people whose cars were ready. I have pretty good peripheral vision and could see him looking my way when he did this. Talk about a green light for me. I need to tell you this. A few times a car needed to be pulled up for another driver. One of his coworkers did these cars. When he was finished up with my car, he came in from the side door, still smiling, and said, "You're all set. I'll pull your car up for you now." I walked outside, totally tripped in the doorway, by the way. Embarrassing much? Hope he didn't see, LOL. And he drove my car up to where I was standing. He got out and stood there for a second. I said, "Thank you so much for all of your help." Then, r/askmen. Then it was time. I had written my phone number down for him. I handed it to him and said, "Hey, I don't know if you're single." He nodded right here, right away. "But here's my number. Give me a call if you'd like to go out for coffee or something sometime." He blushed hard, smiled even bigger, and said, "I will most definitely do that." I think he's shy. It was so cute. He seemed to have a relieved look on his face. So after exchanging goodbyes, I got into my car and drove off. Okay, here's where it gets funny. I looked in my purse and realized that I had left my phone in the lobby when I was at a red light. Oops. So I cursed myself and drove back. He was doing something at the front desk when I walked in and said, "I totally left my phone. This kind of stuff happens to me all the time. My keys, my phone. It's true." He kept laughing and looked at me as I walked to go and get it. Well, shit, you guys. That was a fantastic experience. I really hope he calls soon. For some reason I'm thinking he will. Winky face. Thank you guys so much for the support and words of wisdom and funny comments and suggestions. You are all crazy motherfuckers, you know that, right? Edit. Went on a soapbox about my personal life, realized it is not needed. Taken out. Edit 2, wow. I have no words for how awesome your responses are and how absolutely fantastic I have felt today because of them. You made me smile from ear to ear the whole day. I would marry you all if I could. Right now. Thank you. Seriously. Relevant comments. God, I have the biggest grin on my face right now. Go get him, girl. OOP. LOL, thank you. He seemed taken aback, but like he might have been expecting it too. Twist. He goes on Reddit. OOP. I would die, ha ha ha. I'm glad to know that women can get as nervous about this stuff as I do. For some reason, I always think of them as not being fazed by this stuff, probably because they're approached more than I am. So thanks. OOP. Oh yes, I was definitely anxious about doing this. Most, if not all of my girlfriends have the same anxieties. I think that, for the most part, men and women have trouble reading that off of each other in the dating world. It's awesome when we learn to make ourselves vulnerable. OMG, I can say that now. Ha ha ha. You're now obligated to continue updating us. You know that, right? OOP. I can most definitely do that. Update 2, March 8th, 2014. 31 days later. Okay, plot twist. I have a feeling some of you may be disappointed, but I am so blissfully happy, so I won't even care. Smiley face. Carguy texted me a few days after I gave him my number. I don't know how to explain it, but something felt off about it. Just through the text messaging, I got a sense that we weren't compatible. Honestly, I'm a little picky and only want the best for myself. Carguy definitely seemed cocky. Don't get me wrong, confidence is great, but humility is also important to me. So we never ended up going out, but it gave me momentum to do something else. Let's call my really good guy friend Liam. Liam is the one who I went out to lunch with before my car died, who left after I found out my phone was dead, or I would have just called him in the first place. If I'm honest with myself, I started falling for Liam a while ago, but I truly thought he only thought of me as a friend and nothing more. After giving Carguy my number, and it not working out, it helped me realize that sometimes I need to be the one to make the first move or be honest about my feelings. So, I told him how whenever I'm with him I feel at home. That his family felt like my own, and that I'd been keeping in my true feelings for him because I was afraid. He looked at me in the same way he always does and kissed me in the most passionate way I've ever known. This was 2 weeks ago, and it has been an amazing 2 weeks. All of our friends know that we are starting to see each other. One even said, finally. Haha. I thought that Liam looked at me like a best friend. We have more in common than you'd think. We're both getting into social work as our careers, and apparently he started falling for me when he first started to get to know me, but didn't want to risk telling me and making things awkward. To be honest, all of this feels so natural, and I can't believe I pushed down my feelings. Making the first move on Carguy seriously gave me the momentum to go for what I want. I want to thank every single one of you for cheering me on as I went through the whole thing. Obviously, it didn't work out, but I give you guys most of the credit for how happy I feel with Liam today. We're just starting out, but honestly, I can see this lasting a while already. He always treated me so well as a friend, and it was so nice to be able to get to know someone that way before starting to date. I've been in a few abusive relationships, and Liam knows about these. He says that he wants to give me all the love in the world, and that I deserve to be so happy. And if he gets to be part of that happiness with me, that it would make him the happiest man in the world. Thank you /Askmen. I know you wanted a fairy tale story with a Carguy, but this is reality and what my life looks like. And who knows? Maybe all of this will work out. For now, though, I'm taking it one happy day at a time. Relevant comments. He looked at me in the same way he always does and kissed me in the most passionate way I've ever known. Oh my. Oop. LOL. I've been clutching my heart for like 2 weeks now. Update 3, June 21st, 2015, 1 year, 3 months and 13 days later. So funny. I was looking up the top posts on our /Askmen and saw my first post right up there. I had completely forgotten about it. I know it's been a long time, but I thought it would be fun to update you. I'm 24 now, and Liam and I have been together for almost a year and a half. We are currently living together in our own place. We went out for dinner last month with some friends, and our friend Jack asked if we would be engaged by Valentine's Day. Liam did a quick nod, but I saw it out of the corner of my eye. So there's that. It's funny how much you change in your early to mid-20s, even in such a short period of time. Looking back on my post feels like an entirely different person wrote it. Liam and I have been so happy and content with our relationship for a while now. He is the love of my life. And I'm back in school, We're saving up money and having the time of our lives. I never knew life could be this good, this peaceful, this content, even when everything in life isn't perfect. Having Liam by my side is all I want, and we can figure everything else out as it comes along. Thank you, /askmen. Edit. Thank you for the sweet comments. Yes, it's been closer to a year and a half than a year. Time does fly. Final update. March 29th, 2016. 9 months, 1 week, and 1 day later. Wow. 9 months ago was my last update. Time seriously flies. I'm not sure if these kinds of posts are allowed anymore, considering the megathread, but I wanted to let you all know that Liam and I are now engaged. We're planning on having the wedding in a few years, so I guess that is when I will update you next. I'm 25 now, and we want to wait to get married until after we're both done with school. We've been together for over 2 years now, for by the time we get married. We're talking about children, and where we want to live, and what we want to do before kids. Love is real, guys. I never thought that I would feel this happy with somebody. It is absolutely insane. Be well, my friends. I promise that I will update you after the wedding, maybe even with pictures if that's allowed. Keep on keepin'.